Shemai, namaste with Nick. Okay, one of the awesome things we do with yoga is we create stories with our posture cards. So as you've got here, so I've sent this to your teacher. These are from yoga at schools. So you can print these off, they come in A4, and you get, these are our poses. So what I usually get to do is we pick 5 or 6 of these, different cards, and we make a story with it. So I've laid out our different cards. We've got the frog, we've got bow, we've got tree pose, we've got flamingo pose, we've got hero, we got the cobra, and we got the banana. And we've got to try and make up a story with this. So I absolutely love spy stories. So we'll start off, we need a main character. Let's go for the frog. Let's go for the frog. So the frog is our spy. Okay, so we'll get into frog pose and hopefully some ideas will come to me. So to get into frog pose, we need to have a straight back. We put our hands between our hips here. Now our frog, should we call him James Pond? So this is James Pond. Okay, so James Pond. He has to save the day. He has to save, let's use our next card, which is trees. He has to save the trees. Okay, so he has to save the trees. The trees are in tree pose, would be you have your left leg, you put your right leg forward, put that over it, a straight back. Now you could be a single tree, you could be a cactus, you could be just a wide tree. So I just want to see some trees there. Beautiful. Okay, so we know how beautiful trees are, but we need a villain. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, this is a good one. The butterfly pose. I reckon our villain could be sat in butterfly pose, as villains usually do. They're sat in butterfly pose, so can you all join me? Join your feet together. You can hold your 2 big toes together. Nice straight back. Now our villain, I want to hear your evil laughter. So our villain is called, let's call him Dr. X. So Dr. X is sat in his evil lair. So I want to hear yours. Very evil. Okay, so Dr. X is plotting how we can destroy all the trees in the world. Evil man. Okay, so what our hero, James Pond, has to do is he has to infiltrate, he has to break into Dr. X's evil lair. But unfortunately, there is, let's have a look at some of these poses. Let's choose flamingo. James Pond has to overcome the gates. So we're going to get into flamingo pose. So for this, we're going to take it to the side. So whether you're using a towel, a mat, or just some carpet, you're going to find a space. I'm going to use my left leg. On your left leg, we're going to raise our right leg, find that position. And we put our hands out in front. And we are the gate. And to be the gate, you're going to need to say, "You shall not pass." You guys say it? Awesome. Okay, so you shall not pass. So poor James Pond, he's thinking, how am I going to get through this? But he does spot a nice letterbox on that gate. So he thinks, what poses can I use from my bag here? So we've got Hero 1 and we've got Hero 2 that we could try and get through these gates. So what he does, he thinks, James Pond thinks, if I get into Hero 2, so my legs, my left leg is facing forward, my right leg is facing towards the wall. I put my weight, my knee over my ankle, no further. I put my arms out to stretch. And I reach for my stamp, stick it on my head, and I'm going to post myself to Dr. X to get through his letterbox. So I bring my arms forward. I'm going to put all my weight onto my left leg. And I'm going to post myself through his letterbox. So you can see here, you can try and hold to get through. And we're in. And James Pond is looking around. We are in the evil lair. But unfortunately, there are lasers absolutely everywhere. So what I've got to try and do is get through the lasers without being caught. So we'll come to the back of our mats or our towel or wherever you are. And I'm going to go from here to downward dog, which I'll show you in a second, into cobra pose to get underneath those lasers. So from here, onto my knees, I'm going to put my hands down, just out in front of me. Watch out for those lasers. Put my hands down, stick my bum out, come forward a little bit, and we're going to go through the lasers into cobra. We haven't set any lasers off, I'll come back. If you're struggling with doing that, you can come to your knees, you can come through to cobra. Don't set any lasers off, or come through. If you're really struggling with that, you can come down to your knees and do that. Okay, now from here, we're nearly in the lair. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. You can hop or step forward. I'm going to hop first, so I'm going to come to here and I'm going to hop through. You can also step through, and we're in the lair. Awesome. Okay. What's next? So James Pond has a look round. What's the next thing he's got to face? Well, you can see Dr. X in the corner. He's on a little island surrounded by, well, this is the bow pose. Do you know what they are? They're sharks with laser beams, obviously. Okay. So let's get into shark pose. Come onto our stomachs. Okay, from here, we're on our belly, toes pointing out, hands behind. We're going to clasp our hands together. That's our shark fin. Come up, show me your teeth. Okay, so you're going to move towards me like a shark. Okay. From here, you come up to seated. So James Pond has got to get from here on the dry land to over there. What can he do? What could he use? What have we got left? I have got boat pose. So there is a little boat to get across the island. So to get into boat pose, we're going to sit on our bottoms. There's a few variations, a few different ways to use boat pose. Put your hands behind you, straight back. Now you can make this really easy for yourself. You can keep in this position, or you can raise your legs off, or if you're feeling superhero-esque, put your hands out in front. You should start to feel a bit of a strain in your belly. Okay, from here, we need to row across. Do not wake up the shark. So we do one wobbling, 2, 3, don't touch the floor because that will wake the shark. So 4, 5. So if you are in this position, you'd be 1, 2, 3, or if you were just up by here, 1. So we're finally here. Okay, we didn't wake any sharks up. There's only a few little obstacles left and then we can defeat Dr. X. So, unfortunately, Dr. X is having a little sleep. What have we got? So you guys can do this as well. I don't know about you, it's probably a good time. I'm always hungry. Banana. Wouldn't mind a banana. So while we think of what we can do next, I want to eat a banana. So our banana pose, we come to standing. We're going to plant our feet. We're going to bring our hands over our head, and we're going to lean over to the right, lean over to the left. We're going to peel that banana skin down. Our frog, James Pond, takes a bite. So it brings us down to here, takes another bite, takes us down to the floor, and James Pond chucks away that banana skin. Right, we better get on with saving the world. Okay. All that stands in the way of James Pond and Dr. X is his guardian birds. I'm sure I've seen a bird somewhere. Here it is. And the birds are asleep. These are his guardian birds. They're sleeping just in front of him. So if we get into guardian bird pose, as we come to our knees, straight back, we're going to come forward, put our ear on the floor, put our hands by our side, and we'll be asleep. Okay. So James Pond has to move from the back of his towel or his mat in frog pose, has to creep forward without making a sound, because you do not want to wake up those guard birds. You've heard of guard dogs. Ooh, you've never met a guard bird before. What do you call a bird that succeeds? One with no teeth. Yes, that is a terrible joke. Okay. We made too much noise, we woke them up. So the birds are moving slowly from bird pose. Here, they are coming up. They are mad, they've got big wingspans, so you put your wings out. You're gonna step to one leg, step to the other. You're gonna put all your weight on one leg, and you're gonna start to flap. You're gonna start to flap towards James Pond. He loves frogs. These birds love to eat frogs for dinner. So flap furiously towards him. And as they come into land, James Pond is really worried. Oh no, this is it. I can see my life flashing before my eyes. Is this what it's come down to? I've appeared in a yoga story. Oh no. And as they come to land, they land on the banana skin and slip into the sharks. And the sharks, we get quickly into shark pose, onto our bellies, up with our fins. They haven't eaten in ages. They were looking forward to eating a frog. They've got these massive birds to eat now, so we need to put our hands into fins and it's a nice bird sandwich. So it's just Dr. X. Can you remember what Dr. X looks like? He's in butterfly pose, plotting to spoil the world. So he's there going, what can you do now, James Pond? So James Pond has one pose left, which is the flower pose, which completely throws Dr. X. He was expecting him to have some sort of laser beam or some gun or something. And Dr. X is put off by this, and he says, oh wow. So Dr. X is sitting there on his evil throne, and James Pond hands him the flower. Now the flower pose, as you can see here, to get into this position, you need to have a straight back. You're going to put your right leg underneath your right ankle and your left arm underneath your left leg. You can sit up like this, and you're a little flower, so you can blink your eyelids. So you're a flower. But what Dr. X didn't know, that this flower is laced with a chemical that will make Dr. X go to sleep. So Dr. X takes one sniff of this flower and falls asleep. So can everyone fall asleep onto the floor. And our saviour, James Pond, walks towards where Dr. X is, who's sitting next to his evil tablet, and he turns off all the killer machines for the trees, and he saves the day. Whew. I don't know about you. All this saving the world has made me tired. We're going to finish the story by just lying down. Ugh. Just letting yourself sink into the ground. You're going to put your hand over your belly, your hand on your chest. You're going to have a deep breath in through your nose, out through your breath, through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can go to sleep tonight thinking that you have saved the world. Great work, James Pond. See you again soon, superheroes.